This is very nice. I believe this is Mugen CRX. Met this guy not long ago. Very nice dude. Oh my gosh, just the details on this car are amazing. Oh no, wait. Oh, nope. This is there he is. There he is.
I gotta double check.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, how you doing, man? For a second, I almost confused this one as yours, and I was like, dude, I'm talking, and I'm like, oh wait, this is not who I
It's the same thing. Like, I'll walk up to this and I think it's my car. You know what I mean?
I know. I got to the back and I saw the historic plate, and I'm like, nope, okay. Oh man, this beautiful to see these out. Oh, love them.
You know what's crazy is that out of all these people, we ended up parking next to each other.
Yeah.
You know,
I know, and that wasn't planned. You guys didn't ride down together. Oh my god,
there was a gap, and I thought I was gonna go to the right of him. The guy's like, "No, park right here." I'm like, all right, cool, perfect. And
nice.
cool.
I love it. I love it.
Got all the boys in the house.
Yeah. This is definitely gonna give the judges a hard time. Just this row right here, man. Oh my gosh, these are so just beautiful, man.
And each one is unique in its own way.
Exactly. See, and that's the thing too, because to the untrained eye, it's just CRX, CRX, CRX. But it's all those little details, the little differences in the engine, the coil on plug, the suspension, the wheels, the JDM details.
He wants my car, I want his car. Like, we want every
Man, if we all had the space for as many cars as we could, we'd have them all, man. We'd have them all. My wife always tells me I'm like one of those people who would adopt every dog or cat they see if they could. Same thing with me in cars, man. If I had the space, I'd bring them all home.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Dude, that would be a thing.
Has a smog person ever looked at that and confused it and said, like, oh, okay, you're good. You don't need to be here?
Well, I don't think it doesn't have, because it's Arizona, I don't need to smog it anyway. So
Oh,
that's like,
dude. Oh, that's the cheat code right there, man. Oh, man. See, that's the stuff that's got me worried nowadays, because you hear about them tightening up more and more and more, and I'm like... And they're also cracking down on a lot of the out-of-state registration stuff, like the, was it Montana, I think? We have clients that now are getting harassed about stuff like that because they know you're either hiding taxes or you're driving illegal cars. It's like,
so yeah, now the cops are just automatically doing state ref to everybody.
Oh, man, just, yeah, they don't even want to, like, oh, you've got all your tags. Just go. Let them deal with it.
And the thing is, people don't know, when you call state ref, because my brother got pulled over in a GTR, and they did, there's no smog device, your plate is out of state. He went, so then I called the state ref, and he's like, hey, bro, we're not connected with CHP. So I basically, you bring me the car, I look at what they put on there, and I check, and then we're legal advice, like, okay, it is, it's not. But he's like, that cop is dumb because your car's from Arizona. I don't even have to. I can't.
Yes, dude, there's so many videos of people getting harassed for the out-of-state cars.
Office, I put the ticket under the glass. I said, hey, what do I got to go to state ref. He slid it under. He's like, that cop's like, he's like, we can't even touch that car. It's from Arizona. None of that stuff applies to you.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, so
Thank
like,
you.
We can't tell a cop.
No.
When he
Yeah.
pulls you over, like, hey,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
You gotta
Like,
be respectful.
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's very,
But now I think what they're trying to do is make you run those errands so you don't get tired of it.
Yeah, just get harassed over and over and over.
Because they're like, oh, wow, I used to have one in high school. And then it's like, okay, what else? That's it. Just have a good day.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, and that's actually the cool thing when you see, because like we're all older guys now. You know, we're not kids in stickered out cars and you know
Right.
huge
I had the
exhaust.
same thing, man. They pulled me over and they're like, wow, your cars are really nice. I had one of these as a kid,
Exactly,
too.
it's that familiarity. These are our hot rods.
I literally had them come up there. Hey, can I take a picture with you in
Nice.
your car? And I was like,
See, I like that. That's the kind of reaction
You know?
I like, because it's like, yeah, it's an appreciation for it. Plus, they know we're out in the early mornings and during the day. We're not takeover kids or anything like that. You know, it's one of the guys. I know
really
you guys know him, Dwayne Bada, our compound.
yeah.
One time in the early days of the takeovers, he got pulled over in his Civic, and they were telling him he's a takeover car. He's like, bro, I'm front wheel drive. I can't do donuts for crap, man. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god. Oh, but I love it. But you're right. It's that thing now. Like I had a friend who's like closer to 60. He got pulled over, and the cop walked up. He looked at him, and my friend's like, "It's my midlife crisis car." The cop laughed and was like, "Get out of here! Get the hell out of here,
Yeah, I
man!"
get confused is like, I mean, it's not the hot rod scene.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, they're loud as hell at the stoplight.
Way
I'm not,
worse.
and it's like, you ain't harassing this
Yep.
dude.
freaking open header right next to your ear. Blah, blah,
No
blah.
good. It smells like gas, and it's like, bro, like,
Dude, just killing the atmosphere.
Yeah. And 90% of these cars, it's not like we're daily driving them. We're
I
not.
love domestics.
I gotta
love
preface
domestics.
that.
I love domestics, okay?
That's about right.
I like all the car scene. Love them all.
go even across the board.
Exactly.
There you go.
Shoot, my brother's got a 1936 Ford he's working on right now.
Oh,
so it's
nice.
beautiful, yeah.
Damn. But see, and that's exactly the thing, though, too, because a lot of these cars, they don't come out enough to really make any kind of dent in smog, whatever. I hate to tell them. You know, it's like, it's one of those things. These are pleasure use. They come out once in a while. They really should have, like with the historic plates, some kind of exemption, kind of like the rolling smog exemption, that like if you drive under a certain amount of mileage, just limit the amount of mileage, if anything, you know? That's it. That's it. And if you do want to, like, do like the, what is it, like the power tour kind of thing across America, like, hey, register for like a little extension, like, you know, hey, let me do how many miles across the country or something. But, oh, man, these are beautiful to see, man. I love them. And just the amount of time and the amount of time and detail that you guys put into both of these. And I was just, when I saw yours with the cutouts for the coil, oh,
yeah,
I was looking.
It's a great product. I love it. But I'm kind of an old school guy. I didn't want to see all the wiring and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and jumble this out. And I made a template. And put
that's
it
a
on,
beautiful
and
idea.
everybody
It's
loves it.
very simple. It's straightforward. Very elegant too. And it's like, and like you said, it doesn't detract from the
Stuff like this, I
OEM
made
look.
myself a little radiator heat shield.
Oh my
so I'm
God.
not burn myself. You know.
Dude, I always. that is beautiful, man. I love it. And then also, like when you did the headlights, and you documented everything you went through to make that work, versus everybody was like, just buy the headlights and make them fit.
Well, I just, I wanted the whole support.
Yeah.
Put it in, and make it work all proper and functional.
And I think you're the only one really that's gone that extra step to do that I've seen in the U.S.
Yeah. Just did it the right way, you know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of corners you can go, but I wanted to just do it the right way, make it look exactly how everything was meant to be and designed meant to work.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was talking to some friends the other day, and we were talking about like just how much cut and paste there was, especially back in the day. We just cut mounts and re-weld and just all sorts of hack to bits wiring and just everything was just we'll make it fit.
Yeah, then we went through that craze where we were putting on all different types of cars on different bodies and different headlights and all that stuff.
Oh, the Altezza era too.
Yeah.
Oh man, that definitely was a thing.
Tore up a lot of cars back then,
Oh,
but you know
yeah.
what? That was the thing,
Yeah.
What could you bring to the table and have a different type of cars, headlights and tail lights?
Well, and I think too, a big contributing factor to that too was the the Hyper Rev books becoming available too, because when people would see this engine was stock in a CRX, I didn't have to have a single cam. It's like all of a sudden got everybody's gears kind of turning, and it's like, oh, what do we need to do? Let's get that going. And then you see like Dr. Charles coming back and visiting the history of the different tracks and the swaps, and hey, this was the first person with the LS swap, GS swap.
Yeah, I was talking to him a while back about it, and with Little Saigon and then Wicked Racing. They're coming up with some really, really good content, man. And bringing up the history of all these cars. I just sit back and I'm like, dude, they're so right. And it just brings back a lot of memories.
And it's cool because I think at first when people started hearing Charles talk about it, they thought he was just going to cover like the entire history of all of it. Yeah. And he was like, no, look, some of it's going to overlap. But this is primarily Wicked's history and where we overlapped with all these people. And, with all these old heads coming back out from the old crews, it's like almost like maybe each of the crews should start kind of putting together their own little history lesson. Because I think that would be very cool. Because like half of the places we used to go to, if you didn't tell me exactly where they were today, I could not find them on a map for the life of me. Other than Somar, everybody knows Somar.
Yeah, we used to go, from Ventura all the way up to San Fernando Valley off the 14 right there. That was a huge bitchin' place, and everybody just line up underneath that freeway and just go.
Yep, exactly. And the best thing about it too was most of the cops in the early days were pretty cool about it. It was kind of like the early 4-lane track down in like Gardena area, where the cops were cool about it. It's an industrial area. You're away from traffic. You're away from people. Hey, what's up, brother? How's it going? It was away from traffic. It was away from homes and stuff. You kept to yourselves. followed some basic rules, race up one side, drive back on the other.
Yeah.
And they were cool with it. They'd come by like, hey, what's going on, guys? Everybody keep it
It's
cool.
just a different generation.
It is. And it was also when there's that mix of like the gangs started coming out and stuff and starting trouble, and the cops almost getting hit by people getting scared and stuff. The fun stuff for us was like the cop would come by, everybody leave, and you just move up to a better parking spot right under the bridge and just okay, let's go, let's line it up again.
Yeah, we would have different spots. If we got caught in an area, then we just say a particular name or whatever, and we knew where it was at. Like for us, it was like Edison Road. All right, go to Edison, or
go
whatever.
regroup, get away from the area for a little bit.
Knew, and we just,
not everybody went to the Denny's and the gas station.
Yeah. We had guys with walkie-talkies, at the
Nice.
ends, and talking, letting everybody know that, hey, it's clear, no one's coming or whatever. We're pretty safe back then.
Yeah.
We didn't want
And
anybody to get hurt.
and that was the first thing I learned. Like when we first went to 4-lane, they're like, look, you guys are not the first ones here. We were out here with hot rods before you. Just follow the basic rules. These 2 lanes you go all the way down. You do not stop. You do not U-turn. You go all the way down. You come back up in the other side. You don't parade route this lane. And it stayed good. It was until like that one cop, I think he was coming by to do a check, and somebody almost ran him over because they got freaked out. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now we got to crack down. But yeah, I would love to see more of the history coming out about all the crews again.
Got the Autobots,
Hell yeah.
VTEC, no one has that one. I designed that.
I love that. You were the first one to come out with that?
Yeah, it's the first one.
I love that.
And first one to make the floor mats.
nice.
So I designed those.
Oh my gosh.
And then I designed the
Oh,
sunshade.
yes. I remember seeing when you were doing all the design layout and everything for the stoppers and the handles and everything. Oh, my God.
And then I had these all reupholstered from Japan. And these are all 100% leather.
Wow.
So it's a half EDM / EF8 style.
Nice. That is just good. Now, I got to ask, okay, with all of this that you do, what do you do as an occupation? Is it like engineering or something?
Well, ever since I was a little kid, my father was in the Air Force, and he was an upholsterer. So my dad was really very, very mechanically inclined. So we had a lathe, a milling machine, welders. So when we were little kids, we grew up with that.
Oh,
so
nice.
we were building motorcycles. My dad made us mini motorcycles. I'll send you some pictures of that.
Nice.
He made a little Suzuki and a little ATC mini bikes way back in the 70s.
Oh,
so we were always around this type of atmosphere, mechanical, thought processes and stuff. So what I do now is I work for Southern California Edison. I'm a lineman. So you see those guys climbing poles and working on electricity. That's what I do. But on the side, I love building imports.
Nice.
And I've built imports since I was like 18, 19 years old.
And just making things yourself comes second nature.
Exactly.
If it's not available, hey.
Yeah, if I don't have it, I'm going to make it.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's
just
awesome.
the way my dad thought and the way he brought his sons up. You know what I mean?
love it. Now, did you also take in between, like back in the day when we used to have like auto shop and everything like that?
Oh, I did it, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I wasn't the greatest in math and history, but you get me in wood shop and auto class, I was A++.
Oh, yep. Man, that's something I severely miss, because for our school, they had just discontinued auto shop when I got to our high school. I was like, oh man, it's awesome. It felt like just such a pull away, and I was like, oh man.
And you know what? Even in the school district, they get rid of all that stuff.
Yeah, because then also it became a liability. Like, oh, these tools can be used as weapons. It's like, well, I have a friend that, back in the day got in a fight and used his pencil as a weapon on some guy. It's like, anything can be if you're really determined, but...
And then with this, you wouldn't even notice, but this is a 91, so the doors had the seat belts.
Oh, yeah, the bigger sash. Yes.
So I ended up having to relocate those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I obviously put the glass top on.
Man, I was just talking to somebody how much I hate the door-mounted belts. I hate them with a passion. So wait, did you modify and mount?
I had to refabricate this whole piece inside
on the
here.
inside.
Yeah.
See, I need to talk to you then, because
I had an 88 and I was looking on how they designed it in the factory, so I built it just like how the 88s had.
Nice. Yeah, because I remember reading all the write-ups and stuff where they were saying, like, on a lot of these, on the 91s and stuff, you have some of the holes, but there's no retaining nut, and then you still have to do the backing plate.
I put a big old piece of metal like this long, and I had welded it all in.
Nice.
So it's all part of the whole frame. Because, getting an Addison, you know, God help you. You know, you don't want it to just pull out of that little piece. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah, and
it's not a
you know, and especially with it being a door-mounted belt, my fear was always like, if the door gets pulled away for any reason, there goes your safety
right,
equipment.
that's
You're
true.
out the door.
Yeah,
there you
think
go.
about that.
You know, and the only the only way around it I had, other than doing that, was like, okay, well, I guess I got to throw in a roll bar and the dot harnesses and, you know, the Schropp dot harnesses with the DOT release and everything. And I'm like, but I want to be able to retain my Recaro LXs, and I want to be able to still access the back seat, and I don't want to have to run buckets all the time, you know? So it's like,
Now, I told myself this time around, because I've always had CRXs, I've had them all raced out, all turbocharged. I told myself this one I want to just make it have all the best stuff on it and just be a cruiser. It's only got, it has 172 horsepower, but it's great for what
for these
what's
chassis, that's, yes,
you know
perfect.
What I mean?
Exactly.
I got full AC. I got, you know, power.
Yep.
I put power steering. They don't come with power steering.
Yeah.
So that was a fun. Project.
Yeah, now it's fun seeing everybody trying to do the electric steering upgrade.
Yeah,
And, it's like,
the
oh,
electric one. Yeah,
he's already ahead of that.
I kind of wanted it to be all OEM.
Yeah.
Kind of looking. That's what I'm kind of going at. You know, like I had Willwood, and they're amazing. Willwood is an awesome brake company, but I changed it to NSX calipers because I kind of wanted to go the OEM look with these rims. So once I got these rims, I changed it all up.
Oh yeah, that's very nice. I like that combination, and it fits so well. And you know, and again, these are little details that if you didn't tell me, and I'm just looking as a casual observer, it's like, oh, okay, he just did NSX calipers. It's like,
so we had the 4x100s for these came with, and then I had to change it to, obviously since I got the rims, the 4x1143. So these were a lot wider for this rim, and so the issue I was coming across is I was having it. I literally like took the holes at the hub that fits into the bearing. I went ahead and I just milled it down 1 millimeter, and it fit into the stock CRX.
See, and that's a solution that, you know, most of us would not have thought of. You know, let me go mill this down. You know, you're doing the kind of stuff.
In my head. How's this going to work? You know?
Well, and a lot of what I'm hearing from you too, it's kind of like what I used to hear more with like the Volkswagen guys, because they have the lug bolts instead of the studs, and they would do like the multi-drilled hubs and rotors and everything like that. And here you are, you know, like, oh, I'll just go ahead and mill it down, and boom, everything fits. And
then in Japan, my buddy's got an EFA, and he put the NSX calipers on there. So, and he told me that it bolts in completely fine. You don't need any adapter kit or nothing. And I was like, really? Yeah, I guess the EFAs, they came with bigger calipers anyways. Compared to the CRXs here in the US, they were actually smaller. You need a kit in order to get these big brake systems on there. So what I did is I got an EDM suspension, or the knuckles from SIR that are left-hand drive, and then I could put my NSX calipers on.
Nice.
And it doesn't mess with any of the geometry. I could have got 90 Integra, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be the all EFA.
Nice. See, and again, that attention to detail, because a lot of people would just go, oh, DA, and just call it a day, and then just work out the offsets and the geometry after the fact. And I never realized, until you see cars that have that done, you don't realize how much it does mess with the geometry.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like a friend of ours has, I think, the DA trailing arm set up, and like an ET35 is like I think, what is it? No, 15.6.5 on a conservative offset is like right up on the fender. And I'm like, damn, okay, you really can't do anything wider. That's your setup right there.
Right. And in the back, we've got the trailing arms. Those are DC2 trailing arms. And then I upgraded the back brakes to EK9. It's a little bit bigger than the DC2s.
Oh,
and then I've got a master cylinder is the DC2.
Oh, wow.
To go with all the NSX calipers.
See, and that's another thing. I've never thought of DC parts on these. I think
it's amazing on how so much stuff is so interchangeable. As long as you do your homework, you'll find what fits and what doesn't. But the majority of all this stuff is just put it all together, mix and match it. I love that about these cars. Yeah.
I've just only recently heard about the being able to use the DC arms instead of the DA on these. I'm like, oh my gosh. But I mean, was a lot of it just trial and error, or were you actually going out there with measuring everything out?
Well, yeah, it was trial and error, but then I have a friend that has a junkyard.
Oh.
So I would be always going in all these junkyards and seeing all the sedans and the EFs, the hatchbacks, and I was watching and seeing how everything was designed from the factory. So I was like, wow, dude, these are all interchangeable. These are all the same type of a frame. So I was like, well, shoot, okay, this 4-door car that has a power steering system on it can fit on this CRX, so like a 91 4-door Civic,
nice.
Right? It's all the kind of the same.
Yeah.
So that's what I got, a rack and pinion. I got a 4-door Civic rack and pinion. I got a 4-door, the USDM, the reservoir and the lines, and then I've got an EF8, is it a power steering pump with the brackets and the cooler, and then I used a DA line for the pump, and then I had to change all the AC stuff to DA, so I had to convert half CRX to half DA. So I was taking this is a DA air conditioning line, and it, you know, obviously the fittings and everything are different on the compressor, so I literally had to cut them off and I had to re-weld the aluminum for all that to work out.
Oh my gosh,
the way I wanted it.
Man.
Because in order for me to get the power steering, I had to change all the AC stuff out, because I was originally using the AC for the CRX one with a Haas mount bracket kit, but since I wanted the power steering, I needed that the tensioner.
Oh,
so I
yeah.
had to scrap it all and
man.
reassess everything, and then I did my homework and I found out what works. And power steering on this thing, I'm 53, dude. I put my little pinky in that thing and I'm turning. I love every bit of it.
It's those creature comforts that you do appreciate now. I mean, like, before all of us were yanking out AC and everything.
That was the first thing we did, was rip all this stuff out. We didn't care. We wanted it as light as possible. Turbo it.
When I see people that still have the plastic snorkel on it, I'm like, oh my god, that was cannon fodder. That was out in the trash the next day, man.
What's going on?
Oh man, but I mean that had to be a big part of the build too, because like backtracking, like when you've got everything like set up and then you realize I can do this if I do this, but I gotta start all over again.
Right. And you know what? And I'm a kind of guy, like, I love that. Like when I come up to a roadblock and I'm like, or I'll design something on this car and it works good, but I want it to work better and more efficient. That's just, you know, you're constantly, you know, changing things as they go, and you know, and then you come up with some really beautiful, amazing cars.
Yeah.
I love all the ingenuity that, you know, I trip out on certain cars. I mean, a 4-wheel or all-wheel drive Civic hatchback. You know, we F shit up. We know who that is.
Yeah.
When I saw his car for the first time, I was like, this dude's got it. This guy's got that niche, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I walked right up to
And then
him
you see the air jacks and everything, and like,
that he's
oh
done
my
with that
god.
car.
Yeah.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Really, he's one of the few that just is and he makes it. You know, he's a designer. He's like an engineer. You know.
Yeah.
What I mean? And he lives for that too. He loves it. You know.
Yeah, he's proud. Hey, I just broke a couple of diffs this weekend. Now I got to go back.
Right.
Let's see what I can do to reinforce
make it
it.
even better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, it's constantly changing it to make it even more stronger and better.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. Oh my god. Well, thank you, Schroeder, for taking time with me. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you very much, man. And definitely, we got to. I'm going to try and see if I can talk to the old heads and get maybe some history bits and pieces. Maybe I can encourage some more of the crews to start putting out some content and stuff
this
too.
This is a really good time. There's a lot of us that do want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of talk that is going on right now about that, about, you know, our history and about how we started and how everybody, you know, came together as well. The one thing I really liked about the car community was that it really brought all nationalities together.
Yes.
And I didn't care.
Yeah.
We were just all one, you know.
Yeah.
I love the car, and I love that. I love to just, you know, and I don't know, it's hard to explain, you know, back in the 90s.
I feel it. I feel it. Like for me, I was a less than 5'4", 127 pound, glasses, braces, skinny little nothing, didn't do good in sports or anything.
Yeah.
But when it came to cars, it clicked.
Right.
And when driving them, you know, going to the drags, I didn't need a lot of walkthrough for my first couple runs and everything, and it just became instinctual.
Right.
And the joke was, oh, you know, well, the car's like driving without a driver. He weighs next to nothing. And, you know, the joke that when they'd set up the runs, they're like, look at him, man. This is his mom's car. She uses it for work every day. He don't know how to drive. Come on, let's just do a run.
It was definitely good times, man. And our culture was a different breed of people, man.
Yes, definitely.
Really a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, good talking to you, man. Good talking to you. Thank you for sharing your time with me. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you very
All right.
much.
Enjoy the show.
Thank you. You too. Take care.